Well, well, I've had some real troubles today getting this thing going. I can't seem to make my scheduled stream. Hopefully some of you guys will see me over here. Hey there. I tried to schedule something here on YouTube and it didn't work. Did not work. It's totally wrong. Hey, there's somebody here, Sean Keating. Hey, how's it going? I had some extreme technical difficulties here trying to get this thing working. Man, I had big plans for today, big plans, but I couldn't get my scheduled stream. I'm sure everyone's heard this from 1,000 times from people trying to stream. This is my third time to try to start streaming live. And wow, everything just stopped working. One of my cameras stopped working. I couldn't get everything working. It's very frustrating. I'm sorry to share this frustration with you. Hey, there's Greenie. Hello, hello. Okay, so my purpose today was to set up and schedule an event, but I couldn't connect to the event. So the event, I don't know what's going on. I'm very confused. But what I'm going to do is I planned to show a bunch of Total Distortion stuff today that I have here in my office. And let's see what is going on here. Yeah, everything is, there's my desktop. My other camera is not working, but that's okay. You know what? There's 8 people here. That's fantastic. For those of you who are just getting here, I had some technical difficulties getting my stream together, and I'm still kind of in the middle of this kind of frustrating battle of trying to figure out what's going on. And I decided if I could at least go live, I would at the very least show you a few things from Total Distortion. I had some videos and some other stuff, but I might not get through much of it just because of my insane technical difficulties today. Getting this thing live on time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some Total Distortion stuff that's sitting right here behind me. Maybe I'll start with some of the T-shirts. I've shown these in images on Instagram every once in a while. I have so many T-shirts and other artifacts from Total Distortion, you would not believe it. This is the main Total Distortion T-shirt that we had for a long time. With just a pop rocket on the front, and then on the back is good old Mr. Red, the government agent. By the way, if you guys want, I just want to tell you that I never intended for Mr. Red to be such a front and center symbol for Total Distortion at the time. Like, he was just the character who got you started in the game. There was some backstory with him. In fact, there was a bunch of secret videos of him with aliens and stuff that you can find inside of Total Distortion. But we had this package designer, okay? The package designer who built this box right here, okay? Total Distortion box. By the way, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a tiny little picture of me right here. This is, you can kind of tell it's me. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm in there. I'm also all through the game and so on. But I've actually on YouTube people go like, you're not really Joe Sparks. You're not really the guy who designed Total Distortion. I've heard this several times from people. I don't know what to say. I am the guy. In fact, I designed a lot of it right here in this room all those years ago. And so now, one of the things about the box, it was in the 90s, there was this very hip kind of renaissance of rock posters that used neon colors, fluorescent colors, and so on. I even have I have some of these classic rock posters from the day. And we were trying to emulate that style a bit with this. This is one of the things we wanted to get. We wanted to be with the times. One of the reasons for Total Distortion, you know, after Spaceship Warlock, by the way, I just happen to have here handy. Spaceship Warlock was my first game, my first experience of being literally on a world stage with Spaceship Warlock. There's a funny story about how I even got this shirt. But this shirt was Spaceship Warlock, my first game, with Mike Signs, that we designed it together. Two guys, long distance, over a modem, designed a game that got Macworld Game of the Year, and it got a lot of incredible attention. In fact, it got a lot of attention from Japan. And so I was trying to decide what to do after Warlock, and at the time, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, yeah, Bill and Ted's and Wayne's World and Nirvana, and all of these things were really, really big at the time, like grunge, rock, funny stuff, lots of rock, guitar distortion, and so on. And so that was kind of like, let's just go after this. Plus, I mean, music video adventure game, there's something I was thinking of at the time, was that, you know, even back then, all those years ago, people were complaining, all you do in video games is kill, 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 shoot, 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 kill, 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 shoot, shoot, you know, and I know, I mean, it was fun. I liked games as much as anybody, but there was a lot of repetition of like mowing people down, and all you do is just keep leveling up and leveling up. And I was thinking, what can we do that's a little bit new? Now, in Spaceship Warlock, there was a lot of movie feeling, walking around. There was animation, there was people, there were characters, there was dialogue, there was things to play with. Like you could go to the video phone, you could dial people up, and you could see things, you could book a ticket, you could walk into a bar and you could order a drink, and the drink would appear on the bar, and if you drank too many, you would get blurry and you would fall over and you get kicked out. There were things like that going on in Spaceship Warlock. For Total Distortion, I just went crazy. I tried to make a world with a lot of interactive things. Now I think, fast forward 25 years later, Grand Theft Auto LA, where you can pull out your cell phone, call people, have things delivered, and so on. I think that's the ultimate fruition. It came true. It came true. Like everything that we were trying to do in the old days with these weak computers that were so slow and had so little memory, and they didn't even have full color. I mean, we had 256 colors. We had low-res graphics. But in that very early days, we kind of made a world that worked. You could talk to people, they would remember you, and you would have interactions with them. But to get to the main point, I wanted to make creativity something part of the game. So that's where making music videos came into it. I know it was not a lot of fun for those of you. I've seen so many people working, you know, doing walkthroughs of Total Distortion and stuff. And the music video aspect, of course it's not fun. It's not fun to create. I mean, it's really a work. To create things is work. But I tried my best to make an easy kind of Fisher-Price music video editor that you could create videos in. And the treasures, when you went out, instead of just getting a gold chalice that you could sell to get a higher weapon, I wanted the treasures that you gathered in the Total Distortion world to be useful creatively. So when you went to some far reaches of Total Distortion and you brought something home and you plug that into your video, then it became valuable in that way in your creative aspects. Yeah, work can be fun, Vanny. I see you there. Let's see, who's talking right now? What do we got here? Not too many people. Oh, somebody saw Spaceship Warlock. Yeah, J.D. Robinson. Let's see, big box. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about this box itself, okay? I have the original Spaceship Warlock over here, just to show it to you. Let's see, where is it? Right here. Okay. Okay, the original Spaceship Warlock came in this little pack, and we thought we were so cute and clever to make this little CD-ROM case and sell it this way, right? And at the time, I mean, it was such a boutique little industry. There was just Macintosh people who had CD-ROMs. They cost $1,200 each, and they were incredibly slow. And so we shipped it on this, and it was mail order. But by the time we tried to go, with Pop Rocket, we were going huge. Literally, Electronic Arts, I was an affiliate label of Electronic Arts, so we suddenly had massive distribution. And what people said is like, hey, this is, yes, I have discussed, you know, I'm thinking about getting this on Steam. In fact, I have a version 1.5 of Total Distortion that has only seen some bundleware. It was never released retail. But retail was the only way to get things out back then, you guys. You have no idea. Can everyone hear me? Maybe I just realized that I probably don't have my mic turned up all the way. Is that better? Can you guys hear me a little better now? I realized my mic was turned way down. I've had terrible difficulties today trying to get everything together. Oh yeah, so J.D. Robinson still has this. Yeah, 1.5, it went up 0.5 Alma. Like I found the case and I called it 1.5 at the time. It was basically fixing a bunch of bugs in Total Distortion. Now let me get back to the reason for this box. It's because people would take this back in the 90s and just stick it in their coat and walk out. And so no retailers are like, no way am I gonna stock this. I mean, it wasn't very common to have the stickers that would run the beepers if you walked out and so on. That was still becoming a thing. So they wanted big boxes that could sit on the shelf and people would have to carry them to the register. So that's part of the reason for this box. Now this is the original Total Distortion that shipped in the United States. Let me show you some other ones. Okay, so this is the Japanese version. This was Japan was so important, I can't even tell you, man. In fact, Japan, we were so much bigger in Japan. We were big in the United States, very well known. You wouldn't believe the crazy articles that came out in the New York Times, Entertainment Weekly, and New York Times, and Wall Street Journal, like tons of stuff. Business Week cover stories and so on. I mean, it was big in the United States, but in Japan it was a whole different thing altogether. This is the Japanese version right here. Now, I don't have, you can see in my thumbnail for this, if it's still up, I've got some pictures of this, and I'm going to post some more pictures later. Once again, apologies that I am Inside TD. I'm here for the Inside TD. Right, here it is, guys, Inside TD. So in Japan, not only do we have, you know, a release from NEC, which is huge, and also we had another partner for the Macintosh called BMG Interactive. These two, this was a big deal. We had major people behind us, and there were so many promotions. And one of them was this Inside TD CD, which you can see this one has not even been opened. And it has some, yeah, Redbook audio, and it has a few songs, and it also has a video of me back into my glorious fat days when I got as fat as you could possibly. Oh man, it's so sad. The most photographed time of my entire life was when I was, you know, about 240 pounds. It was awful, man. I felt horrible every day, and I'm all like trying to dress up, sweating profusely, and all these people are taking pictures, and I'm doing interviews in Japan and going on TV shows. Not only that, playing live on Tokyo's biggest radio station at the time. We actually played songs from Total Distortion live on the radio in front of a huge audience and stuff like that. So I see some of the, I'm looking in the back of here. Child of Evil made it on here. You Are Dead made it on here. I'm going to remake some of these songs. Child of Evil. A little bit of Radical there here. Watch me decompose, yeah. Well, Child of Evil, by the way, some of his songs, Darkness and Despair, Shadow and Pain. When I listen to it now, oh, he's kind of like a Lux Interior of Cramps. I mean, Child of Evil is a little bit Crampsy, right? It's just kind of simple, grungy guitar and a lot of just, I'm gonna feel it all over again. Woo! Yeah. Okay, let's play Total Distortion. Total Distortion. Oh yeah, Joel. Yeah, I saw the one from Joel. I can't even believe. I mean, what a trip! 20+ years later to see all of these live streams of Total Distortion. This is one that got around. It had a walkthrough of its own. And this one is just a demo disc that we sent everywhere. It had a slightly playable version. It was really crazy. I mean, we gave away a giant chunk of the game in this little guy, and there should be a lot of those guys around. Oh, we had a Japanese version of this demo, by the way. Some other things. Now, those crazy Japanese people are so amazing. Okay, This is the manual. This is the deluxe kind of book for real fans, for Total Distortion, from Japan. And because this is not a disc, it is a book. It's a full color book, okay? Now let me see if I can see my preview here and see what you guys are seeing. Well, I can't, well, let me see, let's see, okay. Okay, I can kind of see. Okay, so this book right here, basically it's kind of a walkthrough of Total Distortion. It has a lot of, I don't know if this is going to focus very well, but let me show you one of the amazing details of this book. Okay, it goes through everything with lots of explanation of your tower and all your equipment and stuff, and how to use the video editor, step by step, everything that's in here. But the one that's really, all of the dream games and how they work. By the way, can I just say something about when I see the walkthroughs today, and people are trying to play the dream games, and sometimes they can't even, it can't work. Something's wrong. Like whatever emulator or whatever's playing, it didn't work that way. Like when you're dragging the light bulbs up, they're very smooth and you can kind of navigate around the problems. But when I see the replays, it's like chopping frames. It seems almost unplayable sometimes. So they even go through all of the books that are on the shelf. By the way, the thing about the Total Distortion bookshelf, everything's there. It's one of the dumbest things I did was put all those books and make them all work. I should have just put, 5 books on the shelf, but instead I put all these books, like dozens of books, and then I decided that each one of those stupid books had to do something, and that ended up being like every little wacky idea I had for a game ended up showing up there. The kitchen, of course, making your own food. Once again, I was trying to make everything a little bit more creative for the user. So making your own food, it wasn't just like swallowing something that you found. It was, let's mix things. And by the way, there's potions that will boost your health and mental energy and do all kinds of things if you know the proper combinations of things to make. There's also poison. You can also poison yourself in the kitchen if you mix the wrong ingredients. The other thing I thought was pretty funny is that they itemize all of these different things, your camera and your guitar. And can I just point out that the twanger guitar that you start with in the game, some of you might have seen a couple posts I made of this, that guitar just happens to be right here in my office right now. This is it, guys. I modeled this my original guitar, the very first guitar I ever purchased. This is a G&L. It's a collector's item now. It's worth thousands of dollars. This is one, like in the first, I think, 100 that they made. And I've had it all these years, and I've used it on Radical and Double Doll, and of course in Burning Image and other bands I was in, and so on. My most recent guitar is over here, which is this Gretsch. It looks really cute and it sounds really good. It's not a super expensive guitar, but it's a beauty, right? And it looks good. It sounds good. Let's see, I think. Guess what's in the neck here of this guitar? It's a couple of original Total Distortion picks, right? One of our big promotions for this is we did black and blue Total Distortion that say Total Distortion Pop Rock. It has a Pop Rocket logo in there. Let's see.
Yeah, that's right. We're doing a Total Distortion live stream. Total Distortion, you know what I mean? I say, yeah. Yeah, Total Distortion.
Okay, that's enough of that. Alright, let's see if people are still hanging out over here. Let me check on the chat. Chunky love. Alright, okay, let's see. Okay, what else we got? Okay, let me go a little bit more through this amazing Total Distortion manual from Japan. I only have a couple of these too. Yeah, all of the interesting artifacts from the game. And then, Guitar Warrior, how that all works and how it handles. All the video producers. By the way, everything you need to know to win the game is on the bookshelf. If you didn't know this already, so There's Hans Kranger. He's in Germany. By the way, I picked these just because those are our biggest markets. United States, Stevie Groovy, Hans Kranger, and Yuji Dude in Japan. This is where all the attention was coming, the majority of it was coming from at the time. So I was just catering to those places. And also, you know, with Spaceship Warlock, we had such an amazing experience in Japan that I was really trying to get ready for Japan. Was very much on my mind. Here's the lock and key game. I don't know if you ever saw that. I was very proud of this game, by the way. It was it was a puzzle game where you had to shoot the locks, but you didn't just shoot the locks. They behaved. It was an arcade game, but it was also a puzzle game. One of the things in this manual that's kind of funny, of many things, is they itemize the video clips and also all of the guitars in the game. So I don't even know how they did it, actually. I guess they just bought all the guitars and somehow took screen grabs of all of them. But yeah, it has all of the major guitars in the game, which, you know, there's only 3 levels of guitars. I mean, 5 levels of guitars. They're just a little bit more powerful. But you can see them all listed here with images of each of the guitars. Okay, let's see what else can I show you from my artifacts here. This is, let's see. Oh, this is just a Japanese poster. Okay. This is the, there were localized versions around the world. This was the Portuguese version that was made for Brazil. So we actually had a publisher in Brazil. In fact, one of the ways that I kept the game going while we were super late. Oh, I was super late getting this game done. Oh, that's a long story in itself, okay? But one of the problems, by the way, my son tore the box one time. When he was very little, I just saw him like, tearing the thing apart. I'm like, no! But yeah, this is my only copy of the Portuguese version. Now, there's, what else do I have around here? I have a very classic Pop Rocket shirt. You know, the last time I saw this out in the wild was very recently worn by the founder of Craigslist, Craig Newmark, who for many years, I think he still does, lives in this neighborhood of San Francisco. So I used to see him, like, you know, several times a week just walking around my neighborhood. And the other day I saw him in this Pop Rocket t-shirt. By the way, this is the first logo I ever designed too. Anyway, so I want to tell you that one of the ways that we survived, we announced the game and we got one of the I'll tell you some star stories here. Some star stories about being very, very well known in the 90s and getting a lot of attention about the game, for this game, before we even launched it. We just showed some demos at trade shows and we had all these people interested, and one of them was Trip Hawkins, who literally came to my front door and knocked on the front door, and I met Trip Hawkins. If you don't know who he is, he's the founder and CEO of Electronic Arts. And he was about to start another company called 3DO. And we actually went way down with 3DO. We thought we were going to launch on 3DO, but things went sideways over there, and we weren't able to do it. So, but yeah, there was Trip Hawkins and many other people. And, but it was delaying, it was taking me longer to get it done. And one of the ways we survived for so long is we kept doing publishing deals around the world. So we did one in Israel, in Brazil, in Europe, and so on. And each time we would do one of these publishing deals, we would get an upfront bit of cash. You know, sometimes that would be like $40,000 or something. And we were a pretty small team, so that would keep us going for a few months, right? There's a lot of stories about that. I don't know who's interested. Maybe someday I'll tell more about the business aspect of all that stuff. Let's see. You gotta love Jesus. Yeah, I remember that. That was, you know, that actually, the reason for that is because of Kent and I's musical experiences. And one of the things we did one time back a long time ago is we used to sample televangelists. So we would just record televangelists. Sometimes we just had this old Casio sampler that had like a record button. We just hold it up to the TV and we just serendipitously get a snippet of, hey, reach out and touch that television set. I want you to put your hand on the radio and I want you to pray with me right now. Right? And we would just capture this stuff and we would just fly it into we just fly it into songs and stuff. And we were playing around, we got these wonderful things. So we were trying to recreate that. That's one of the reasons that appeared in there. I want to tell you a story about promoting in Japan, which I promised in the thumbnail, even though I screwed up getting this thing set up. It's telling me right now, please use a yeah, I'm getting some messages here telling me that I don't have the best stream. But anyway, I don't want to ruin this by getting lost in the technical. It looks like it's playing, at least. It's playing and you guys are seeing it and so on. So the promotion in Japan was unreal. I never experienced anything like this. You wouldn't believe how serious these people are. These people are serious about scheduling, and they're serious about partying harder than you've ever partied in your life, especially if you're like a hard-working person here who doesn't normally stay up till 2:30 in the morning drinking bottles of gin and whatever the hell. Okay, the kinds of the lifestyle that the Japanese people were, I don't know if they're still living this way in Tokyo right now, probably, but back in the 90s, they worked hard and they partied hard. Now, so I had been on many tours. I've spent about 6 months altogether in Tokyo at 2 weeks at a time, 2-3 weeks at a time. And the way that this worked is that they would put you in a hotel and someone would show up in a van to pick you up to take you to your scheduled meetings, right? And you would have a whole posse. So like my posse was from NEC and BMG, but mainly NEC, and also Dentsu was very much a part of it, which is a huge advertising agency conglomerate in Tokyo. So I had Dentsu and NEC, and these guys are no jokes, man. I mean, like, they put people on it. They work very hard, and so they would come get me, take me to a meeting where we would sit around a table with like 10 people, and they would like, let's go through the schedule. Let's go through what we're going to be doing this week and next week. But let's just focus on today. So we just like, everyone ready? Let's go. Okay. At 8:15, we've got a meeting with so-and-so from this magazine, and it goes on for 15 minutes. And it goes on like this in like 15, 20-minute increments of everyone we're going to meet, where we're going to meet them. Travel time is written into the schedule. This is all printed out. Everyone's sitting around a table with their printed schedule. And so we're going through, 8:15, 9:15, 9:30, 9:25, like really meticulous schedule. I'm just like, wow, I've never seen this before. Like to the minute scheduling. And then I see, 10:15, Joe takes bathroom break. Bathroom break. They had literally scheduled the bathroom breaks into the schedule. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? My bathroom? Well, it's like, what if I don't have to go or whatever? And they're like, bathroom break. Bathroom break. Just accept it. It's a bathroom break, okay? I was like, okay, great. And so then we'd go on, and then we get to the evening, we'll go all the way to the evening. We're gonna have dinner at some place with these people and the editor of this magazine and these people, and then it would go on. Then we're gonna have drinks over here with these people, and then we're gonna go to karaoke of this place, and then at literally like 1 in the morning we're gonna be at karaoke with these other people. And it was just like, wow, this is insane. So my entire day, from the moment I woke up till the moment I passed out at night, was scheduled, and this went on for days. Now, on one of these days, oh boy, okay, so at this time, on this particular trip, I was in one of the greatest hotels I've ever been in. It was a Westin Tokyo, or the Tokyo Westin. It was so amazing. The lobby just had like flowers to the ceiling and fountains and marble everywhere. It was super, super fun. And they had rented this suite. It was like a 2-room suite, and they're like, I'm glad you're going to enjoy it, but it's not just for your pleasure. This suite is, we're going to be doing interviews here all week long. So this is kind of like, you're sleeping here, but it's also, an important part of our scheduling and our promotion this week, okay? So don't get, too comfy here. We're going to be bringing people here all week long, right? So this is a very important part of this story. The front of this suite had a little bar area with a sink like this, a cute little sink like this. And it had a little faucet and a little plunger in it like this. and then there was a bar area, and there was couches, and there was a big desk, and that was the first part of the room. Then in the other room, towards the back, there's this bedroom, and then way around, like it went like a horseshoe, it went around, and there was this huge marble bathroom with showers and so on. So there was shower and bathroom, bedroom over there, and then this big suite with the front door right here. So it went all the way around like this. That's important as I get to this story. So now it's time to party like a rock star in Tokyo. Everyone freaking out, running all day, smoking in the elevator, drinking, smoking, traveling, meeting people, doing things all day long. Now it's time to go party. It's time to go party, and we're going to this very swanky karaoke place. It has a huge stage where people go up and perform in front of the whole audience. Later we'll be in the closets where we just all like performing together in a small thing. But in this one was like everyone is performing in front of everyone else in the room. It was a big one. And so we're sitting there, and they're like, what would you like to drink? I'm very unfamiliar with all of these things. And I'm like, I would like a margarita, right? I'd like a margarita. Oh, margarita, margarita. So they bring me this little glass, and I taste it, and it tastes like paint thinner or turpentine or something. It was like, ugh! It was like sour and bitter and super strong. It tasted like vapors, like rocket fuel or something. It tasted nothing like a margarita. Now, keep in mind, this is Tokyo. There's a language barrier between California, me, and these guys, and I'm trying to explain to them that it's like, you know, I was like, oh, wow, this is really hard for me to drink. Well, I must have sounded like blah, 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 blah. You know, whatever. I'm like, in California, they're thinner and they're bigger and they're like, you know, they're more, you know, there's lime and they're, you know, they're not as strong as this. The only thing they heard was bigger. And this place was ridiculously expensive. So the next thing I know, they're bringing me, you know, a much larger version of this poisonous rocket fuel. So it went from a normal sized glass to this giant pint of ridiculously strong drink, okay? Now earlier in that day, we'd also been, I mean, just before this karaoke thing, we ate where we cooked chicken and venison and beef and stuff on these skewers over a barbecue. And they would serve us this stuff they would serve us something that tasted more like a margarita in a wooden box that gave the drink a certain flavor on a plate, and the box was very leaky and had salt on it. That was more like a margarita. This little skewers comes into my story later, okay? So we had eaten all of these little skewers, we'd eaten really well, we'd seen a lot of things. Now we're doing karaoke. Now they've replaced my drink with this huge drink, and now I feel bad. It's like I told them, I guess, I'm like freaking out, like I told them the drink was too small. That's what they heard, so they gave me a much bigger version of it. Who do they think I am? They must think I'm crazy. Well, I better drink this because I don't want to feel ungrateful. They're paying for everything, right? Okay, wait. I've got to pick up what you guys are doing. Government mandated peeing. Okay. Oh, thanks there. All right. Okay, so here we go. Okay, let me get back to the story, okay? So this went on. It went on, okay? And I tried to drink as much, just out of kindness to them. I shouldn't have done it, but I just tried to drink this giant drink. Okay, I'm getting really woozy. It's time to go to karaoke. And another karaoke place where the drinks keep going, and you go into these karaoke and they're like bottles of liquor. What would you like? A bottle of gin or whatever? And people are just like picking up huge bottles. And these guys that I'm working with all week, 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks in a row, some of them live outside of town, like 2 hours outside of town, and they're just going to the train station and sleeping in a little coffin for 4 hours and coming and getting me and doing this all over again, every day, day after day. And yes, I did my karaoke, I did Billy Idol.
Hey little sister, what have you done?
I have another karaoke one too, I do like,
Love on the rocks, ain't no big surprise. Pour me a drink and I'll tell you some lies.
Anyway, I do Neil Diamond as well. So anyway, I'm doing all my hits and so on, and I'm getting plastered. Really? Plastered. And these guys are unstoppable. They're like tanks. They're just like throwing back drinks. Oh, we do this all the time. No big deal. But now it's getting really bad, and they realize that I'm like not used to this. And so my main guy from NEC is gonna like take me back to my hotel, to the Westin, right? It's probably about 2 in the morning. 2 in the morning. And so I'm in the cab, and the cab takes off, and I'm like, oh, oh. And the guy's like hitting my shoulder like this, oh, oh. You know, and it's like, I'm like, oh, I'm so woo. Like the whole world is going this way and that way. We pull up in front of the Westin, and it's like, I'm looking at my key, it's like, oh, you know, room number like 1206 or something like that. It's like, I can get there. He's like, you sure? He walks me, I'm like, you sure you can get there? He's like, I can get there. Okay, it's 2 in the morning. Now, I should have checked my schedule, but I was so out of it. I went through the elevator somehow, made it to my room, opened the door, go in, I stumbled across and fell on the couch. There's a blah, like this, in my suit, everything, right? Then I wake up and, you know, I don't know, it was still dark and I'm totally sick, right? I'm terrible. It's really bad. And I just wake up, where am I? What am I doing? And I have to barf, okay? This is sad. Get ready, guys. It's gross. So the first thing I see is right by the front door of this place is that little tiny sink. That little tiny sink. That elegant little bar area right there in the living area. I run up to it, okay, and it just starts coming out like chips of barbecued venison and chicken and beef. Just went like, and filled up the entire sink. Like, filled it up. And, oh my God. And then I just fell backwards, back onto the couch and just, I'm done, right? Next thing I know, bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. It's like 7 in the morning. It's only 4 hours later. And I'm waking up in my clothes from the night before on this couch. And they're like, Joe, we're here. Bam, 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 bam. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm waking up and like reorienting what's going on. I go to the front door and I'm like, oh, jeez, I just woke up. I'm not ready. And they're like, no, we're here with the press and the blah, blah, blah. And so-and-so's here and so on. I'm like, oh my God. And then I smell it. I look next to the door into this little sink. I'm like, oh. And what could I do? These people are wanting to come in. We've got business to do. We're supposed to do interviews in this suite. I ran to the bathroom. It was like, run into the bedroom, run into the bathroom. I grabbed a bunch of toilet paper. I went, run, all the way back into the room and scooped as much as I could out of that sink. Ran all the way back through the suite, dropped it in the toilet, got a bunch of more toilet paper, run. Got as much as I could again, and carried it all the way back and did this the whole time. Bam, 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 bam. Let us in. We're here. It's time to do our interview. The schedule. We're going to lose our schedule. We're going to lose everything. Everything's going to be off. Bam, 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 bam. Finally, I got it cleaned up enough, and I threw something in my face and let them in. So I basically went from passing out to waking up and doing interviews in the Tokyo Westin. That's right, man. That was some tough times. And that's just a sample of what it's like to promote games in Tokyo with these hard partying, hard scheduling people. Okay? And there's lots of other stories about Tokyo and amazing things that happen. But, you know, because I haven't got my whole thing working right and had trouble getting started, I'm going to just say goodbye, you guys. Thanks for listening to Total Distortion story and hanging out and talking to me for a little bit. I'm going to do some more of this very soon. Oh, hey, who's here? Come on in.
Hi.
They probably can't see you. It looks like JJ has showed up. How's it going there?
Good. How are you?
Very good.
I was watching your live stream in my Uber.
Oh, very good. I'm glad to hear it. Well, I just
everybody.
shown a few Total Distortion things, told a gross story about barfing.
I heard your whole barfing story.
All right, very good. Okay, everyone, thanks a lot for coming by. Let me first of all, if anyone has some questions here, let's see, what do we got here? Let's see. Okay.
My question was, what song did you sing at karaoke? But I think you mostly
I
answered
did.
that.
I answered it. It was White Wedding. Start again. Oh yeah. Okay.
Hi, Alma.
Hey there, everyone. Okay.
Hi,
What I'm gonna do. Oh, it looks like Sif just got here. Hey guys. Hey. Where are your sideburns, young man? Okay, I'm gonna hang out here for a little while and read what you guys have written, so I can catch up and make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, let's see. Yuji Dude, Sugoi. Yes, very good. Oh man, you know, we did a lot of Japanese lines for Total Distortion. I just came across a bunch of recordings I did of, people would send me recordings of all the lines for Radical and Devil in Japanese, and I would play them. I would say them. You know, I can't say them. So desu ka as Radical. So I said all these Japanese lines as both Devil Law and Radical, and I came across some of those recordings. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. Where can I get a Devil Doll plushie? Well, it is very, very hard. I only have a handful left, and they're collector's items. You can find them every once in a while. Let's see, Johnny Fang's Got the Blues. That's a good one. You know, the Johnny Fang songs by Kent Carmichael are truly amazing. I think I'm in Love with Myself is one of the funniest things. I'm in love with myself. That song is so good. It's hilarious. It's like a Spinal Tap level. Have I thought about putting Total Distortion on GOG or Stream? Yes, of course. My story when I worked at Google.
It's coming someday.
Which story?
It's a big story.
Just get Joe drunk and take the doll. Let's see. You know, there's some more stuff around here, but like I said, I had technical difficulties earlier, so I'm not as prepared as I would be, but you know, telling any stories from Total Distortion is a long, long story. To tell you some of you guys can remind me, the Francis Ford Coppola story. I've got a lot of stories around that. I've got stories about everything from raising venture capital to just some of them are funnier than others, but Mac Beatnik. Mac Beatnik. Now there's a story about Mac Beatnik. You want to sit down, babe?
You know, like me, like perching over your
shoulder, do you want to go?
like
no,
a creepy,
I don't.
Vulture. Okay.
You know, JJ might be able to do Candy Angel, but what I played the other day, Touch My Soul, yeah. Oh, God. Mac Beatnik. Now, I actually did a Mac Beatnik in HyperCard a long time before I did the one in Total Distortion. And it was pretty funny. It was all in black and white, and I modeled a little Beatnik character, and he did pretty much the same thing, except it was all text. On the Mac Beatnik, I actually spent about a week or more trying to make an algorithmic sentence composer, and it was so difficult. It was one of the most difficult things I ever did. So what you see there is a stripped down version that I just gave up at some point. You used to have multiple controls of like how abstract you would get. You had different sliders. I had to get rid of them because it was taking me too long to perfect it, and I just made a kind of a quick random poetry generator. And you can see it's kind of limited in vocabulary and so on. But people really like that. There was some place in Seattle that kept saying, can you make one that just loops forever? Because we just want to put this on the bar and just have it making lines all day long. But instead we just keep going over there and hit play again to get it to do some more lines. So yeah, it would have been a funny screensaver. Black Corvo, cheers from Brazil. Hey, I don't know if you saw this, but I showed this version of Total Distortion, minus the rip, by the way. I found Sam one time when he was very little just tearing this box apart. But we did have a Portuguese version of, you can even see all of the graphic design is translated on the back. Like even these weird lines up here and the whole thing. Localizing games is a big, thorny deal, especially back then when it's a little more, people have been doing it for a long time now, but back then you'd have to find developers that could work with your material and translate everything and resize everything to fit everything you did. It was a really big ordeal. The in-game radio in Total Distortion, by the way, I actually just recently posted, let me get something open here. Let's go, what did I post? Let me move my browser over here. And let's go to my channel. Let me go switch this over so... Oh guys, what the hell? Here we go. Let's go to my desktop. Okay, you guys can see my desktop. Okay, so over here... Oh, look at this. See this? I just posted about the Total Distortion radio just the other day. Look, someone posted this.
Gonna bust a move.
And it's like everything from the game. Now, by the way, I'm just playing a video here, but you can see there's me and there's Kent. These are some, by the way, these girls over here, most of the girls that you see that show up over here, she actually
plasmic
talked
totally
about
unreal,
this
man.
game recently. She's got a family and everything.
I get the nod from Hung Up. Take
by
off
the way,
on the second.
how did I, so I want to say a couple things. These characters, if you Option Alt click on them or Control click on them, they sometimes duplicate and do different weird things. There's all sorts of key controls. So next time you're in here, hold down the Shift key and click on these guys. Hold on the Control or Command key. Hold down the Option key or Alt key and see what happens. There's little surprises in here. And as I said, most of these characters, by the way, back then we used a blue screen. I still have the original video for doing all this stuff.
Oh, I've seen that. It's funny.
This is, oh, there's Kitty Cat. Anyway, there's just a bunch of skits on this radio. That's what somebody was talking about. Let me go back to the chat so I can see what... Yeah, the Screaming Metal promos. Oh boy, you really do remember that. That was when Mike and I were still working together. Let's see, game development courses, lower the volume on the video. Oh, it's hard to hear me talk. Okay, let me do that. I think I still have control over that. Let's turn down the desktop audio a little bit. All right, the surfing promo, yeah. There's a lot of funny stuff. In fact, there's a whole, I guess this guy found 51 minutes of it, 52 minutes. Excuse me. Well, guys, I guess I'm going to say adios unless somebody has a question I missed. I'll watch this right now to see if I see you guys type something. Any last minute questions about Total Distortion or anything else you want to talk about? For those of you who just showed up, it will be posted later. I went through the incredible Japanese manual here. I'm going to scan some of this and put it up so you can see it better, but this is a very elaborate... Man, those guys never halfway do anything. They're amazing in Japan, and I had amazing experiences. I told a gross story about where they took me partying all night and ended up in some trouble. I showed off some of these products like Inside TD, these Japanese promos. The original box, I explained why the box is so huge, because people would just, the original Warlock thing was very small, but we only sold it online. Retail would not take something so small because people would just stick it in their coat and walk out the door. It happened all the time, shoplifting. So we had to make something big enough that was harder to steal. That was the main reason for the size of this box. People would say all the time, why did you make the box so big? Well, that's the reason. What do we got? Switch cams. Oh, jeez. Thank you, God. I'm a newbie, guys. I am a newbie. Let's see. Oh, there we go. We can at least put that up there. I'll turn this way down. We'll just have this playing while I'm talking. Oh yeah, so I was showing off some of these things. Unfortunately, you couldn't see it because all you could see was the radio aquarium from Total Distortion. There's a lot of crazy stuff about Total Distortion. Let's see if we can Total Distortion. Let's see what happens. There's a lot of walkthroughs and stuff. Let me just do a search for it. I'm really amazed. Let's do, this one really freaks me out. You Are Dead. This thing, look at this. It's now up to almost 600,000 views. I just wish half of these people would come see my current videos, right? I mean, this stuff I did years ago. Look at these Total Distortion You Are Dead. I don't know if you guys seen this one. This one is so hilarious. These guys are so good. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but when they do the Total Distortion, you're about to see it in 1 second. They do a much better job than I did. Let's go find it. Oh yeah, here he is. This guy is incredible. Let's see, what do we got? Just listen to this, guys.
Your heart is stopped and your brain is cold.
your body is starting to mold. Did you see that Guitar Warrior? Look. Sorry to interrupt it. You can go watch this on your own, but look, you're going to see a prototype Radiskull appear in the Guitar Warrior right here. See? A Radiskull drops him with wings. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I can't believe that these guys did. I'm going to do a better version of You Are Dead myself. It won't be that good. Well, it'll be different. It'll be just a better version of what I already did. I just spoke for the Deluxe bar at San Francisco. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but I used Deluxe in, by the way, if you guys haven't seen it, I mean, one of my cutest videos ever. Yeah, let me go back to my channel.
By far your most romantic video
That's
ever.
Right. This one, I mean, this one is just a real classic. I mean, serious. If I do say so myself. I don't know if you guys have seen this one, but it has puppets, it has me, it has Johanan, it has, there we are, but right up here, at the very beginning of this, I'm moving ahead, okay, this is Club Deluxe, right here, see? Club Deluxe. There's our friend Brian.
Oh, Brian.
And there we are getting one of their specialty drinks there. So yeah, we used Club Deluxe in this video, which is pretty funny. And you know, we did a pretty good job. And by the way, this is the first appearance of Babette. In fact, when I did this video and I had this little doll that I made sitting on my shelf, I started thinking like, what would be her backstory? You know, and that's what led to Babette Blue. Is I just kept thinking like, what is she? I thought, well, now she's like a hipster Betty White, like hipster grandma, and she's been in all this stuff. What was her first major film? What did she do in the 70s? Anyway, that's how that. Club Deluxe, sorry, not Deluxe Bar. Did that drink have some Jet Fuel? Like, you know what? That one is a very pleasant drink. It wasn't like the one I had in Tokyo, which was almost impossible to drink. Okay, I can't believe I just happened to find your channel where you're streaming. Hey there, Maya. Hey, Vine Sauce Jules playthrough was really funny. It was. He did a great job. Some of these guys are incredible. These live streamers that do gameplay. I mean, no wonder so many people watch them. They're amazing, and the people have done a great. You know who? The most recent Giant Bomb did a Total Distortion, and I kept hearing about it. I suddenly got all these comments from people watching Total Distortion on Giant Bomb, which is this team of guys that, you know, instead of one streamer, there's like, you know, up to 10 of them just talking nonstop. Was Total Distortion inspired by a dream? You know, it's like anything. I just start thinking of something and one thing leads to another. Like, you know, it just happens over time. In fact, David Lynch has a great way of describing it where he says, like, you have a seed of an idea and you just kind of let it, you just kind of think about it a while and let it kind of develop, and one thing leads to another, and Total Distortion came together like that. Unfortunately, I spent way too much time letting one thing lead to another. I should have reined it in, and yeah, I should have sawed it off and shipped it. That one was very popular in Japan, by the way. We played Saw It Off and Ship It. We even did a song about how we had to finish the game in the game. Like, there was a song about, we gotta wrap this up and get it out. This is terrible. Okay, how's everyone doing? You know, it was really great to see all of you guys here again. Some new people and some people from before. I fell in love with one of the girls that participated in that video. Yeah, I am a time traveler, guys. I have to tell you. I can't tell you how it all works, but it was really great to see you guys. Hopefully I'll have my act better together next time.
Also, while you're watching the Too Much video again, our anniversary is coming up again this year,
right,
and Joe always needs new ideas. So feel free to chime in with that for him.
When you're married, it's always about her, okay?
It's always about the wife. Did anyone think it was not about the wife ever? No. All right, I have to go.
Bye.
So bye.
Okay, thanks, Thanks, everyone. Yeah, I promise I'll have it better together. Something happened today. Like I was trying to hook up. Right now, if you guys, anyone's done any streaming, I'm using something called Streamlabs. Here, I'll just drag it over here. Streamlabs, and it has, you know, camera setups and stuff. One camera wasn't working, then the other camera wasn't working. That should be showing my shrine right now, but it's not. It's pretty cool and everything, but it just wasn't working today. I don't understand it. You know, well, that's what you get. I'm a newcomer to this streaming stuff. So I'm going to get the hang of it, and I'll show you some more stuff. I have, oh man, you know, what I really was going to show you, one of the things I was going to show you is some of my earliest walkthroughs of Total Distortion that I have on video. I've got some very old video. Maybe I'll do another Total Distortion themed one, and I'll announce it with a little bit more time next time. And okay, this time I'm really going to say thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. I will turn off my camera, and I'll chat for one more minute. Well, I'll just leave the camera on for a minute and just make sure no one has any other pressing things they want to tell me about. Let's see, in terms of streaming software, I use OBS. So this is a version of OBS. It's called the Streamlabs OBS, so it's kind of a forked version of OBS. It's got a lot of cool stuff in it. Well, guys, thank you guys. Thank you, Tangerine and King Kyle and Stealth Cola. I really like some of your comments, by the way. Black Corvo, that's very nice. Oh, you use it often yourself. Maybe I could use some help, you guys. Feel free to, you know, you can write me anytime, by the way. joesparks.com. You can, you know, go to my website and join me, by the way. I could use, I would really like to, if you want to see my everyday life, here it is. Not every day, but I mean, at least once or so a day, I post a few things here over here on Instagram. Sometimes I will, you know, you can see a lot of it's just stuff to promote my videos, of course, duh. But there's some other things, a lot of work in progress stuff, and when I get new equipment, I love to talk about my new equipment and stuff. I'm so into equipment of all kinds. What else do we got? Anyway, so there's that. If you go to joesparks.com, you'll see right across the top of it, there is YouTube, duh, Instagram, email, so you can email me right here. And I'd love to hear from you guys. And LinkedIn, if you're listening, you can see my whole professional career right here. Every place I've worked at, it's all here. And I also make little announcements just to inform all the people I used to work with. What else we got here? So, you know, I've tried Minds. I just, you know, I haven't got any attention on Minds. I've tried. I want to be at all the new places as they come up. I've tried, and I hardly ever get any, I don't get any interaction here. What else do I got? Tumblr. This is just so funny. I mean, it's just, Tumblr is just bizarre. I try to post stuff here, and I don't, once again, it's like I don't know anybody here. I've had much better luck with Instagram so far. But anyway, feel free to join me. I want to chat with you guys more. It's fun getting to know some of you guys. And love you very much, everyone. Talk to you soon, and I will see you later.